Hi, today we're going to look at using type in Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go down to our dock and we're going to come over to the Adobe Illustrator icon and we're going to click that to open Adobe Illustrator. Now I've already pre-made a document which we're going to use today. So first thing we're going to do once we're in Illustrator is we're going to come over to the left hand side and onto our toolbar here, and we're going to click the T icon, which is our type tool. With that selected, we're going to come back over to our artboard and we're going to drag out a text box. So you'll notice that this is already filled with some text. This is placeholder text and it is in a weird language. It's actually Latin, but this just helps us determine the size and the style of the default text. So what we're going to do is click into this text box, come up to our top menu, hit select and all, and then once we've selected all that text, we're going to hit delete on our keyboard. Right, now I'm going to write my own text. Okay, alright, so this text is quite small currently, and it's a bit hard for me to read without zooming right in, so I'm just going to drag my mouse across that text and select it all. Then I'm going to increase the size, so I'm going to come up to the taskbar. First thing we see in the taskbar is our 9pt option. PT stands for point, which is the way we measure the size of type. So on the left hand side we've got some manual options for increasing and decreasing the size, or if we go over to the right hand side we click a drop down and you'll notice we get a preview as we scroll through the different size options, and I'm just going to go to 60 point. Alright, so we've got a good size here, I can see it well. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the alignment of the type. It's currently left aligned. It is aligned to the left hand side of the text box. So other options, if we come back up into this taskbar, are center aligned or right aligned, and we're just going to choose center aligned. Okay, so that's weight and alignment. The next thing we're going to look at is the style of the font. So this font currently is Myriad Pro, as shown up in the taskbar, and that is a regular weight, and the weight is just the different styles within a font. So we could have condensed, italics, bolds, etc. So I'm just going to choose a different font, and again I'm going to hit the drop down and looking through different fonts that I like. Actually I'm just going to go for Binario. Here we go. So I like this font a lot, but it's quite heavy, so I'm just going to adjust the weight. At the moment it is regular, and I'm going to change that to light. Cool, so those are some basic things that we can do when we're playing with type in Illustrator. If we want to be more advanced, we can come over to the right hand side of our workspace and click the A icon, and this is the character palette. So this is the advanced options for changing the characters in the type. And you'll notice the first thing we see is the style of font. Secondly is the weight. Third is the size, 60 point. And then to the right of that is something called line spacing, or leading. And what we want to do with that is we can play with the width between lines of text. So if I make my text 2 lines, at the moment it's bundled up together, and I want to increase that so I can read it properly. So coming back over to my leading or line width, I am going to click the drop down, and I'll notice there's a preview again, and I can just see that type being more and more spaced out, and I'll click it to 48. Okay, so this option here, this is an automatic way of kerning or spacing characters. So each letter is a character and they can be automatically spaced. To the right of that is our kerning or letter spacing, and we can, we can adjust the spacing of our type manually, or again use the drop down to squeeze it together or space our type out.